Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. It is so great to have you guys here again. If you're new to the channel, please do not forget to like, comment down in the section below, and subscribe and join the Caffeine and Cadaver family. Yes people, I said it, Caffeine and Cadavers. If you are new here, you probably didn't see the old YouTube channel, but we have a revamped. We are doing something new. I haven't been posting for a long period of time, and I decided, you know what, let me come back and let me give these people content. And I got so much information to give you guys, but we're gonna start off slow and we're gonna be doing this as often as possible. And that started with the whole revamp. I told you so much has changed, our location has changed, and so has the channel. So I hope you guys are excited to get into this with me. For those of you that are coming with me from the first video, thank you guys for subscribing, thank you guys for staying on and for being patient with me, and I hope I do you guys justice. So, as I was saying earlier, I have been offline for quite some time after releasing my part 1 and part 2 of Medicine, How and What. And in that period where I've been offline, I've received so many questions, and I thought I would actually start off this revamp or this journey again with some of the answers to some of your Q&A questions. So we're going to do a little Q&A session today, something to ease us back into the channel, answering some of the questions I got below my video as well as in my DMs on Instagram about applying to medical school here at University of Botswana, especially from the international community. So as a little bit about myself, if you're new here, my name is Tinashe. I am a Zimbabwean, a medical student studying in Botswana. I applied to University of Botswana as an international student. I did my BSc year and then went into medical school, and I'm currently doing my phase 1, so I still have a long way to go, but we're gonna go through it together. Okay, so the questions are not a lot. Okay, there were a lot, but most of them were sort of repetition questions, so I will be answering a few of them, but to a lot of people. So hopefully I get to answer most of the questions. If you still have any more questions or need clarifications, please do comment in the comment section below. And for some of the questions, I will be making separate videos, like long videos, on hopefully screen sharing videos, especially for the application processes and how to actually apply on the website. So if you see me looking down, I'm using my tab on my laps to read the questions and to also help me remember things. So please, I'm not ignoring you guys. Speaking of, it's very cloudy outside. It's 7 a.m. in the morning, and yeah, my favorite type of weather. But in terms of lighting, does not do me good. But let's get into it, hey? Okay, so my first question says, I did my A-levels biochemistry and math and did a diploma in clinical medicine and community health from Uganda. Which pathway would work best for me? Okay, thank you very much, Mia, for your question. So, seeing as you've done your A-levels already and you did your diploma, I would actually advise you to apply directly into medicine. Do direct entry. Not only because you already have your diploma, but you also did your A-levels. So already that puts you a step ahead of most of the metric students that didn't go through A-levels and that have to go through BSc. So the short answer, I would say apply direct entry into medicine. It will be easier for you in that way and also quicker for you, and you have to skip the repetition of going through BSc year again, seeing as you've already done your diploma in clinical medicine. And honestly, I feel like your clinical medicine and community health diploma already puts you a step ahead of most of the medical students that are going to be in first year. and second year, or doing first or phase one, what we call phase one, first and second year medical school. So honestly, just apply direct entry. That is what I would advise you. Okay. I'm an Ethiopian radiologist. How do I apply to your country? Okay, first of all, it's so good. And it's so amazing that we're talking to Ethiopian radiologists. Like, this is amazing. So for this one, I actually have had a lot of people asking me, a lot of doctors actually asking me how they can transfer their licenses and work in Botswana. I'm guessing that's the context that we are dealing with as well here. So in that regard, I've been talking to a doctor who is also a doctor who got a foreign license and came to Botswana, and I think he would be best to answer that question. So stick around with the channel, and I will be uploading a longer video, an interview with this doctor of how he did it and what the processes entail and how long it takes. So because I'm a medical student who's studying in Botswana, my experiences might be different from someone who got their license outside of Botswana and decided to immigrate into the country. So just stick around for that video. The next one says, hey, can you make a video of textbooks you bought or used during your BSc General, please? And possibly what others used. Okay, let me just say, for me, BSc General was, I won't say easy, but it was not hard as well. One, because of my background in A-levels, you find that BSc General and A-levels, or AS and A2, are pretty much almost the same. So the textbooks that you use in your A-level class will most likely apply to what you use in BSc. Be it physics, bio, chemistry, it will apply. So please don't throw away your textbooks. If you did A-levels and you want to go to the BSc, please don't throw away your textbooks, your notebooks. Don't throw away your cards, your flashcards, because they will come in handy. And I also use what I call Z Notes as well. It's a website online that you can just type in Z, like Z, and notes, and that summarizes most of the concepts that you'll be going through your A-levels and your BSc year. So those I can say were my cheat codes to doing well in BSc. I won't say don't study just because you've gone through A-levels already, but you need to, at least when you've gone through that A-level phase, you're already a step ahead most people, if that makes sense. And for those that haven't gone through A-levels, that's okay. Like I said, you can also use your A-level textbooks if you can get them online, and these Z notes that I'm talking about to help you out. I will do a longer video of like my cheat codes in BSc where I can touch up on some of the other resources that I also pulled upon, as well as like YouTube channels as well, like other content creators that really help me understand concepts, because I know with math it gets a bit difficult, and yes, some of the concepts might be a bit hard, because now it's not just about knowing a formula but how to apply it. So I will be making a separate video on that, further elaborating on the textbooks and the cheat codes that I used to get through my BSc. Yeah. Next question. Out of curiosity, are med students given full accommodation in UB? So short answer, yes. Medical students get full accommodation in University of Botswana, as well as international students. So me, international and a medical student, I do have full accommodation. So the long answer is accommodation. First years, automatically you're already, when you get accepted, you get automatic accommodation. But in the subsequent years, because you do apply per year, not per semester, you actually have to apply for accommodation, and then they'll give it to you. So the application is just like a due process, not because they have to choose and everything, but it's just so that they know, okay, this person wants accommodation, they're a medical student, then I'm giving them accommodation, so that they can get their numbers right, if that makes sense. Because most of the medical students actually have been moved. Last time, if you saw my background, we were in Vegas. We were staying at the main UB campus. But then since then, they moved most of the medical students to Sekitumile, Masire Teaching Hospital residencies, which is where we are now. So most of the medical students, usually second years all the way to fifth year, stay here in Sekitumile residence, at the hospital residence, and then usually the first years get to stay at the Vegas hostels because of spacing issues. So yes, you do get automatic accommodation as a medical student. Also as an international student, regardless of your program of study. So just as long as you're an international student, you just have to apply for accommodation and they will reserve a room for you, even if you're not coming when school directly opens. But you just need to make an application so that they know their numbers and reserve a room for you as an international student with the international offices. How do I apply for MBBS? Please guide. So for this one, I already made a video for it. The last video, Medicine, How and What, part 1. So that one will give you a basic overview of the 3 pathways into medicine and how and what are the requirements that you need for each pathway. As for how to apply, like online and the application process, as well as what you need, I want to make a proper video for that, where we actually get into the system, into the ACES system, and actually apply together. So if you can just stick around for that video, then yes, just hold on and stick around for that video. But if you haven't, if you just need like general overview of how it is done, then please do check out my first video, Medicine, How and What, part 1. Okay, are scholarships available for international students? Oh, child. Short answer, no. DTEF, which is the government funding system here in Botswana. So if you're local, yes, you do have government funding, and all you have to do is apply. There's some process that you have to go through. But if you're an international student, unfortunately, you don't get the same perks and benefits as a government student. That means you have to pay for your own tuition, you have to pay for your own equipment, you have to pay for your own boarding, like housing and accommodation. You don't get an allowance, because they also get an allowance every month. You don't perks, basically, so you have to fund for yourself, and it's something that they emphasize, especially if you're going to medicine, that you need to be able to fund for yourself. But there are other funding opportunities that you can obviously try your local government if they're willing to fund you to go outside the country. Try looking for funding from around the world. Basically, there are some scholarships that do give funding, especially if you're studying in a low economically developed country, or low to middle economically developed country, like Botswana and African countries like that. So you should really look into those, and it will help subsidize your cost of studying medicine. We all know medicine is a very expensive degree, so any form of help to help you study the degree is honestly appreciated. So short answer, no, there are no scholarships for international students. Okay, so my last and final question comes from Kimberly from Zimbabwe. Hi, Kim. Okay, and it reads, I came across a YouTube video about med school in Botswana, and I'm interested in studying pharmacy there. I had a few questions about the University of Botswana. I completed my Form 4 and then did Cambridge A-level maths and chemistry. I'm interested in the BSc General pathway, but I'm not sure if the 5-year pharmacy program includes this year, or it would now be 6 years. Can I please have clarity on that? Is it worth it? Would you recommend studying health sciences at the University of Botswana? As someone doing med school, what's your honest opinion about the university and the country? Also, should I put my A-level results on my application, or it will just ruin my chances? Looking forward to hearing your response. First of all, hi Kim. Thank you so much for reaching out. I see there are about 3 or 4 questions in this big paragraph, so let me try to break it down and we can answer. We can go through each and every one by one. So the first one says you're interested in BSc General year, but you're not sure if the 5-year pharmacy program also includes this year. The short answer is no, it does not include the BSc General year. BSc General is an entry pathway into the pharmacy or medical school program, or even in engineering. Like I said in my first video, Medicine How and What Part 1, if you're doing a science-related course, be it engineering, pharmacy, medicine, and other courses as well, you will have to go through your BSc General if you have not done A-levels. So you, in this case, have done your A-levels already. So already that puts you a step higher than most people. But if you feel your A-levels could have been better and you don't think you will gain entry into pharmacy directly, then yes, doing a BSc is a good idea, because that will help you to bring up and to also level you with other people, other applicants, so that they don't only judge you by your A-level results, but they judge you on par with everybody else. And like I say, since you did your A-level, that already gives you a step higher than most people that are doing that didn't do A-levels and just went from matric or form 4 into university. Since BSc first year is mostly repetition of A-levels. So, answering your question, no, BSc is not part of the 5-year program. If you do BSc and then get into pharmacy, that means you'll be spending a total of 6 years in the University of Botswana. And this also applies to the medical program as well as engineering program as well. These are all 5-year programs. But if you do the BSc General year, it becomes a total of 6 years in the University of Botswana. And is it worth it? Would you recommend studying health sciences at the University of Botswana? So I'm going to answer this in 2 parts. One being accreditation. I would definitely say that I do not regret coming to University of Botswana to study my medical degree, my health science degree. Because University of Botswana is accredited worldwide, meaning your degree here does not just give you access to studying medicine in Botswana, but your degree here can give you access all over the country, all over the world. Meaning if you wanna, after studying medicine here and you wanna go work in South Africa or you wanna work overseas, it is recognized in other countries as well, and not just in Botswana, which I know is a problem that I know back in Zimbabwe, some of the students face from some of the universities in Zimbabwe. I won't mention any names, but we have heard about it, where they get a degree program from a university, but that program only applies to if they're working. That degree only works if they're working in Zimbabwe, and then when they want to go outside, it tends to be problematic because of worldwide accreditation. But here in Botswana, there is credible accreditation, so definitely I would say it is worth it. And this is just something I would recommend to anybody who wants to go out of their country or even in their country to. Before you go to university, please check their accreditations, check their certifications, and just in case in the future you want to leave the country or you want to go somewhere, you need to be able to use your degree elsewhere in the world, and it shouldn't limit you in the future. And for the second part of the answer to that question, I would say things in Botswana are still a bit well off. You do have access to equipment, and I like how they teach people. I can only speak about medical school, not pharmacy. But from what I heard, they do give you access to clinicals and from literally year 1. So they don't wait until you graduate or until you're in your last year for you to be able to see patients or to go to a pharmacy and see it from, like, there's a theory and then the practical side of things, but they literally start both theory and practical from year one, where you actually go to see real people in real clinical settings, and you actually get to work in clinics and pharmacies from the get-go. So I think that was the tipping point for me, the tipping factor for me, that fact that I got experience right from the get-go, so that by the time I graduate, I'm already experienced in some of these things, basically. Okay, so the next question was, as someone doing med school, what's your honest opinion about the university and the country? So again, like I said, with the university, I like the fact that you start doing practice to the get-go, and we do a problem-based learning in University of Botswana School of Medicine. Like I said, I can only speak about School of Medicine because that's where I'm enrolled in. So it's not just theory, you're doing pharmacology and then they ask you questions, and then you move on to patho and then they ask you questions, but you are looking at a whole case, and then you're trying to actually like go through the processes, like the reasoning processes that you would do until you get a diagnosis. And you do this in groups as well, and you do it from a real life case like point of view, if that makes sense. And you also get practical experience right from year one, so they don't wait until you're like in your final year for you to go to the clinic, to go to the pharmacies, to go to the hospitals and actually see patients like they do in most countries. But here they start from year one, where you actually go into local clinics and you actually get to learn directly from the nurses and from the doctors themselves from year one, every week. By the time you get to phase 2, where you're now doing most of your lessons in the hospital, you already have the basic skills like venipuncture, drawing blood. You already have the basic skills of injecting people and all of that. And that for me was something that I really enjoyed about the university. And as of the country is very quiet. It is very non-violent, so you don't have to really worry about, like, I would say on the safety scale, it is very, very safe. That's all I can say about it. And yeah, basically, it's except for the heat. Sometimes it gets really, really hot because of the desert, but you get used to it, honestly, and you quite enjoy it. You do enjoy it, and the people as well. Language barrier might be your biggest challenge, but if you're someone who's also willing to learn the language and willing to adapt, then you will really enjoy it here. Also, should I put my A-level results on my application, or would it ruin my chances? Always adhere to is honesty. Yes, you might not have done well, but not putting your results will only hinder you, because if they find out, it can be a point against you in terms of academic integrity. So I would say your O-level results should speak volumes about your work. People fall down. They don't always do well. It's not always 100% all the time. Because even in medical school, I've got moments where I'm in my academic era and I'm doing really, really great. I'm getting 5.0s, and then I've got moments where I am really struggling with other things. And people struggle. It's a part of the academic journey. So trying to hide away can only just predispose to more problems in the future. So I would say be honest about your application, and seeing as you're already going through your BSc year, that already gives you a chance to have a comeback in this. So I would say put all your results there, everything that you have done, and be truthful, and things will work out for you. And also, as a Christian girl, you know me, I would say things, if you try to hide things, lies never stay hidden forever. So always be as truthful as you can and watch God work for you in the best way that He can. That's all I can tell you. So I think that covers most, if not all, the questions that I got in my past video, in my DMs on Instagram. Other questions, or if you need any other clarifications, please do comment in the comment section below, and I will get back to you. It might be in another Q&A video like this one, or maybe directly to you as a reply. Also, don't forget to DM me on my social media platform, particularly Instagram. I do try to respond to as many people as possible. And yeah, if you also have any other clarifications or think I got something wrong, please also comment in the comment section below. Remember, this is not only for me, but also for the other people, aspiring medical students, aspiring University of Botswana students that are going to be coming into the country, and I would really appreciate the help. If you're new here, please do not forget to subscribe so you guys can get more information and just come along live with me here on Caffeine and Cadavers. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And until next time, bye. See ya.